Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Happy Saturday or Sunday or weekend or almost spring. Yes, my friends, another porch pondering and a coffee on the front step. Cheers. Now, you've read the title, A Renaissance. We need a renaissance in our media. More so, we need a renaissance in the delivery of news. Now, before we get deep into this subject, I thought I'd do my regular stuff right now. -1 feels like -1. It's a little chilly, it's a little fresh. The birds are chirping in the background, and the day is continuing on, going to 12 degrees today, going to be gorgeous. And why am I talking Renaissance? Well, to be honest, Renaissance means it's French for rebirth. Rebirth. And it's a revival of and or renewed interest in a subject. Now, the most famous Renaissance was the Renaissance of art in Europe, in France, in Italy, in Spain. And that therein lays the rub, therein lays the segue, because my son's been studying the European Renaissance for a couple of months. He's been doing a lot of work, and I've been learning stuff, as I always do when he learns stuff. So, what do I mean by a renaissance in media? Well, I want to take you back around the year 2000, before the 9/11 tragedy. CNN was coming forward. New Age News, a news channel. It created a renaissance. It created a rebirth of how we all consume news. And I can remember becoming fully addicted to 24/7 news, because 9/11 happened, and then the Gulf War happened, and I was watching CNN from the time I got up to the time I went to bed, except while I was at work. It was awful, and I was stressed out all the time, and I started wondering, what'll happen when the war's over? How do they provide 24/7 news when previous to that, a lot of people don't even know, we never used to have news channels. We just had CTV, CFRN, for you in the States, ABC, NBC. Didn't have things like CNN or Fox. But the 24-hour news cycle happened because of that war, probably. Perfect timing of a news channel trying its feet out, and good amount of news to report on. And it created an environment that we're in now, where news channels like CNN has become completely opinion. They really don't report on facts. They report on things that have happened through their lens. Some people may like that. Some people may not. But what is missing is what we used to have. And I think we need a return. Is that a renaissance? I think it is. I think we need to re-look at our media. And this, my friends, is not political. This is neither right nor left. I'm not putting down certain media because it leans too far left, or reporting on other media that leans too far right. What I'm saying is, media, I don't care which way media leans, do what you want. What they've proved is most of these new woke movies and woke shows don't do well. People don't like the woke environment. People don't buy it. People speak it a lot. They like to speak it in things where people freak out, like Twitter. I don't even have Twitter because it's such a waste of time. Only a tenth of the US is on Twitter, but they act like it's the dissemination of all that is all, you know? So boo Twitter, boo all those things. And the reason I say we need a renaissance brings me back to my youth. When I was young, we had two sources of news. We had the morning newspaper, which was delivered to my house every day. And all I ever looked at was I grabbed the newspaper, gave it to my dad, quickly looked at the main headlines, and gave it to him. Then, around 5 o'clock, 5:30 was CBC local news. Just a local station in Kelowna or Vancouver, because I was in the Okanagan, reporting on local news. And then at 6 o'clock was the news hour. The news hour. It was international. It was broadcast to all provinces. And it was an hour of what's going on. And they would start with a little bit of local. Then they go into world news. Then they go into hotspots or unique things. And then at the end of it, they would have a wrap up that I would say is more indicative of the whole cycle of news today. In the last 5-10 minutes, the anchors would talk to each other about what the hour has been and what it means to them. And my dad, usually, as soon as they started talking, would go over and switch the channel. I've had enough of my news. I don't need to hear the talking heads. And Warner has taken over CNN or Disney or whatever. There's been a takeover. And at the head of the new ownership, they said right out, CNN has to go back to delivering news instead of opinion. They don't like their acquisition of CNN. They are going to change it. But what I'm hoping for is, as I said, a rebirth of how we consume our news. I want the MSNBCs, the CTV, CBC, the ABC, the all the left-leaning news, the Fox right-leaning, Ezra Levant right-leaning, Rebel News right-leaning. I want them all to start realizing what the way they can grow their business is not have more opinion, is have more straight down the middle, center only, factually reporting of information. Sure, at the end of a cycle, have your talking heads. People can make choices as to whether they listen or not. But the major problem, I know a lot of you may say, you know what, Gord, people don't have to watch CNN. People can switch the channel now. Sure they can, but almost every channel you go to now is all about telling you how you should think, how the majority are thinking, and they call the majority by those who are socially media connected. That's not the majority. I've said it many times in my live shows. I've said it many times just talking to y'all. The silent majority are centrists, like you and I. I lean a little right in most situations, lean a little left in some. Some people are the opposite, but most of us sit around the center and keep quiet and let the baby have their cookie. And I'm thinking it's time now to force that renaissance, to force that, you know what, I'm not watching any of that crap. I've shut off Fox News. I shut off CNN long time ago. Anytime a channel goes into news, I turn it off. I want to hear the Joe Rogans of the world. I want to hear the Russell Brands of the world, the people who sit there and disseminate the news and break it down into its pieces and ask questions, not deliver answers, but ask questions. That's what I want to see. And yes, I quoted two people who are liberal, and I listen to them a lot. That's intelligence, and I'm not saying I'm intelligent, although I hope you think I am, but that's what that's how to gain intelligence and to gain information, is to watch those that have no agenda except to be heard. No agenda to tell you what you should think. Neither of those two care if you agree with them or not. They're just enjoying having the conversation. So, do we need something new? And what's it look like? I personally think that a really good station would be one that repeats that old The News Hour from the 70s. You repeat it all day long, and people can come to your channel when they want, and they can know that for the next hour they will get a dissemination of world and local and international and national news at different times, only the facts, and that if they stick around, they can watch a bunch of talking heads after, discuss what it may or may not mean, and make sure that that round table is a round table with 30% lefty, 30% righty, and 30% center, and 10% don't give a damn at all. Try to represent the major groups of thinkers out there, and maybe news can have a rebirth, a renaissance, so to speak. Friends, my live show's tomorrow, link right here. I hope you will come to it. Tomorrow night, we're introducing some new glass, and I'll leave it at that because today is a non-adult only video, and I don't want to get that tag onto it. I want as many people to see this, to think about it, to put it in their craw and see how it sticks. That's a terrible analogy, but it's mine. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony.